Hi, I'm Will. Hey, I'm Will. Hi, I'm Will. I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors. And welcome to Backyard Outdoors. And this is Backyard Outdoors. And I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors. Hi, I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors. And hey, today we're going to talk a little bit about canoeing. And it's getting that time of year here in the Midwest, and it's going to start time to get out and go canoeing, tubing, boating, whatever. Well, here at Backyard Outdoors, I like to carry what I call a river bag. Now, it's basically just a basic, duffel bag or small carry bag, as you can see, with a strap, a couple good loops. And I've waterproofed the whole outside of it, so it sheds water somewhat, but it doesn't really matter if it does or doesn't. There's nothing inside of it that's going to be a problem. And what we like to carry in the river bag are a couple things. I just carry it in my truck all the time. And then I just grab it and it goes right into the boat. Alright, there's a dry box. Now you can pick these up at Walmart or about any other big box store or sporting goods store. And what they are is you put things like your cell phone in, or wallet, or keys, or anything that you're worried about getting wet in there. And you can close it up, and it'll be sealed, no water to get in, and it'll float pretty good. Plus, it's got a hook here, a carabiner to it, and hook it inside the boat so it stays with the boat. You don't lose it. All right, so that's one item. Another item I carry in my river bag is what I call my river shoes. Now, you can go out and buy the fancy high-dollar river sandals and stuff like that if you want, or you can buy the water moccasins. Alright, the problem with the water moccasins is if you get in any real mud, they come off. If you're in any real white water, they can tend to come off, and then you got a real issue, especially if you just lose one. So I like something that ties on, so I go to about any big box store and get you a pair of old knockoff Chucks. And you can get high tops if you like. And what they'll do is you put them on, and you can tie them on good and tight. They're made of canvas. You got good hard rubber sole, good hard rubber toes, so you don't bash your toes on rocks or sticks or any of that. And they dry out real quick because they're canvas. I keep these in my bag because whenever I go on the river, these go with me. A couple other things you can take with you. There's a couple lengths of rope. Now you can take paracord if you want. And this is the 550 paracord, and it's alright. But the problem with it, and I'm going to say it, and I know it's not going to be the popular thing to say, I'm not the biggest fan of paracord. Now I know all you survival types out there are going to say, oh, paracord, it's the end-all, do-all. But in all honesty, it sucks for on the river. And that's just all there is to it. Sure, you can take it apart and use it for a fishing line or anything like that, but if you're going on the river, you're probably taking a fishing pole with you anyway, so you're not going to need to tear up your paracord to do it. Now, if you're setting up a tent or something like that, that's okay. But you know what? If you're going to take something on the river, don't take the paracord. Take a good solid sisal rope. It dries out quick. You can whip the ends. It's good and strong. You can hook it to the front of your boat. You can tie a loop in it and hook a damn carabiner to it. You can do all that stuff with this, or with a good old-fashioned nylon rope. A lot stronger, a lot tougher. Doesn't hurt your hands when you have to pull something out of a weed pile, or you have to portage the boat or your gear over. This is a lot easier, a lot tougher, and frankly, a lot less expensive. You can get a 150-foot roll of this stuff out at Walmart or out at one of the big box lumber stores for about $3.99 compared to 100 feet for $10. So that's it. That's my whole retire riding paracord. Do I carry it? Oh, sure. And I use it for some things. And I'm about to show you one of them. These I made up for my canoe. And they're not much. They're just basically lines. And they stretch out. And I got a couple carabiners on each end of them. And they do one of two things. You can hook to a loop on the front of your boat and hook it to a tree so your boat don't drift off. That's one thing. But what I use them for more than anything is when you're floating down the river with 3 or 4 other canoes or tubes or other boats, you take these and you hook them between the boats, and it helps keep the boats together and makes a nice lovely raft. That way you can sit with your friends, drink beer or whatever you're going to do, or fish or anything else in a big raft floating down the river or out on a lake or whatever. And they help hold all the boats together. If you've only got one tie-out spot on the bank, you can tie one boat there and then hook all the other boats to that boat with these. And that's what I use these for. I got a couple of them in here. I made 2 or 3. I got one that's real heavy duty, and I got a couple of small ones with the paracord. Alright, now, I also carry these. Most canoes don't have cup holders. Some of the modern ones do, but if you buy a used aluminum one, it's probably not going to. So what you do is you get one of them big old fancy rubber things, can koozies that you buy at the Dollar General or whatever, you know, and for like $1 or less, and you get yourself some cup holders that used to hang on your door and the window of your car, and you put them babies in there, and they hook right on the rim of your canoe. That way you can carry your favorite beverage with you on your canoe. Now, let me see what else. Oh, sunscreen. Now I like to bring 50 SPF minimum, because you're going to be out there a while. And you know what? There ain't a lot of protection in a boat, a rubber raft, an inner tube, or a canoe. So do yourself a favor. Don't make your rest of your weekend miserable with a sunburn, and put the sunscreen on. I carry that with me all the time too. I carry a small multi-tool just in case. You know, we need to do some repair work on the old canoe or a boat or whatever. I usually carry a patch kit if I'm carrying a tube, but even if you ain't got a patch kit, duct tape. You know, the old saying goes, if you can't duck it, chuck it. And we've done some rather extensive repairs on john boats, canoes, and even inner tubes. If you look at some of our past pictures on our Facebook page, Backyard Outdoors, you'll see where my youngest son basically patched his inner tube with duct tape so we could get through the rest of the day. Otherwise, it would have been the end of the day, and that'd have sucked. And last but not least, I carry something that most people don't carry, and you don't have to carry. But I come across this at a yard sale, so I've been hanging on to it because it's come in really handy. And that's what they call an emergency paddle. Now, you'll have paddles in the boat, in the canoe. You'll probably have an extra spare set of oars in a john boat. But when you're on an inner tube or a rubber raft, generally you don't have much in the way of paddles, especially on an inner tube. Now I'll take this on an inner tube and I'll unwind it. I got some good nylon rope here. I'll unwind it and I'll hook a carabiner to it, and then I'll just hook it to the handle on my inner tube. And what it does is when you're going down rivers like our beloved Spoon here in central Illinois, or some of the other smaller rivers, you'll come up across log jams and big trees and water and what have you. And this will help you maneuver your inner tube around them things, so that way you don't poke no hole in it. That way you don't need duct tape. That way you may not end up walking the rest of your trip. And the beauty of this one is it is expandable. And I really like it. Now I know you can pick these up at most marinas, and I think you can get them at some big box stores, but you know what? If you're out tubing, these come in really, really handy. And the beauty of it is they just, well, this one's a little temperamental because it's a little old. Beauty of it is it just closes up, you give it a twist, it goes like that, you wind your rope around it, and the whole thing will go in your bag. Anyway, that's just some basics of what I carry in my so-called river bag. You also might want to carry a first aid kit. A little bug dope probably wouldn't hurt. And, you know, maybe an extra cup holder or two, because if you dump, these tend to go the way of the dodo. So, that's about it. This is the first part of a series of videos we're going to do on canoeing, from your river bag all the way to how to pack a canoe for an overnight camp out. So that's it. I'm Will, and this is Backyard Outdoors.